They called her the Queen of Curves. A name that flooded Instagram, defined timelines, and turned ordinary scrolls into sudden gasps. But how did a small-town girl from Pennsylvania ignite a global following, becoming one of the most recognizable Instagram models of the decade? And what did it cost her to hold that crown? Before the magazine covers, before the viral lingerie shoots, and long before she became a digital sensation, Abigail Ratchford was just another face in a crowd. Overlooked, dismissed, underestimated. Yet she was quietly building something. Something bigger than beauty. A brand. A weaponized version of her own body. And beneath every photo, meticulously posed and provocatively lit, was a silent rebellion against every rejection she'd ever faced. Born into a conservative Catholic family, Abigail didn't have the traditional runway model look. She had curves in a world that once demanded rails. But in the era of Instagram, where followers became currency and confidence was a commodity, Abigail flipped the narrative. She didn't ask for permission. She commanded attention. And when the industry didn't give her a seat at the table, she built her own. But here's the part most people don't know. Behind those glamorous posts and seductive glances was a woman battling brutal online attacks, relentless body shaming, and industry sabotage. The glitz? It was only the surface. Underneath? A story of ambition, sacrifice, and reinvention. She wasn't just playing the game. She was changing it. And yet, the real question remains. Was Abigail Ratchford in control of the image she created, or did the image begin to control her? Because behind the perfect selfies lies a story no one expected. One that exposes the pressure, the price, and the power of being a modern-day digital goddess. To understand Abigail's rise, you must first understand her rebellion. She didn't come from a modeling dynasty. There were no agents knocking at her door. No viral TikTok moments. What she had was audacity. In 2013, a local boudoir photoshoot leaked online. For most, it would have been a fleeting moment. But for Abigail, it was the ignition point. Overnight, she was trending. But it wasn't the kind of attention you'd expect. Critics came first. They called her trashy. Too much. Too curvy. Too provocative for mainstream media and too unapologetic for small-town minds. But Abigail didn't retreat. She leaned in. The backlash wasn't a deterrent. It was fuel. She knew one thing. Attention could be monetized, and beauty, when owned without apology, could become a business model. But success didn't come clean. She was rejected by Victoria's Secret. Blocked by major modeling agencies for not fitting the sample size mold. Forums picked apart her body like it was public property. Speculating about surgery, shaming her proportions, labeling her just another Instagram thirst trap. Each photo she posted became ammunition for either adoration or attack. And then came the surgery rumors. Her lips. Her chest. Her waist. Abigail remained elusive about what was real and what wasn't, turning mystery into marketing. She mastered the art of the tease. Every pose, every angle, calculated to drive the algorithm wild and keep critics confused. Was it natural? Was it curated? The truth became irrelevant, because she was now the conversation. She faced bans, shadow bans, and platform purges. Instagram flirted with censoring her. Brands hesitated. The line between empowerment and objectification blurred. But rather than play it safe, she doubled down. She turned controversy into consistency. She pushed boundaries. And in doing so, she carved a lane no one could replicate. But behind the flashbulbs and fame were personal battles she never posted. The pressure to constantly stay relevant. The mental toll of living under a microscope. Abigail once admitted in an interview that even her dating life became a public commodity. More about headlines than heart. And as the modeling world slowly began to embrace diversity, she watched the same agencies that once rejected her now praise women with her exact body type. Ironic? Yes. But not unfamiliar in an industry built on shifting trends and delayed recognition. And yet, through it all, she never disappeared. She didn't let rejection write her story. She rewrote the rules. Abigail Ratchford didn't just survive the influencer boom. She weaponized it. But instead of letting it destroy her, she turned the hate into hustle. It started with a post. A sultry low-lit photo uploaded in 2013. One that would go viral and pull Abigail Ratchford out of obscurity. But what looked like instant fame was actually the launchpad for a meticulously calculated empire. Abigail wasn't just posing for likes. She was building a brand. One curve at a time. She quickly realized the power of direct audience connection. No middlemen. No agencies. Just her and the internet. And with every image, every caption, every calculated reveal, she was conditioning her audience. Teasing just enough to ignite curiosity, but always holding back the full story. That mystery became her currency. By 2015, Abigail had already cracked the algorithmic code. She didn't need the validation of traditional media, because social media was hers. Over 9 million Instagram followers. Hundreds of thousands more on Snapchat and Facebook. But here's what set her apart. She monetized attention. Every platform became a stream of income. She launched branded calendars, posters, exclusive merch, and personalized content. At a time when many models were still relying on agencies to broker deals, Abigail was negotiating her own. Playboy reached out. Maxim followed. But she didn't just pose. She negotiated, she controlled the narrative, she owned her image. Around the 3-minute mark in her empire-building journey came the masterstroke. Abigail began charging for access. Not just modeling, but exclusive behind-the-scenes content, private Snap subscriptions, and later, premium fan-based platforms where her most loyal followers paid monthly just to peek behind the digital curtain. Suddenly, she wasn't just a model. She was a business. She collaborated with fashion and beauty brands, earning 5-figure deals per post. She built a merchandising machine that featured everything from lingerie to lifestyle products. And perhaps most impressively, she remained her own manager. No PR firm. No image consultant. Abigail crafted every move like a grandmaster in a game where visibility equals value. But the empire wasn't built on beauty alone. It was her business instinct, her timing, her refusal to dilute her identity. And when the influencer bubble grew saturated, Abigail evolved. She diversified her content, entered lifestyle branding, teased skincare lines, hinted at a podcast. She knew that the empire couldn't rest on just her body. It had to evolve with her mind. Around the 7-minute turning point, her strategy matured. She leaned into empowerment messaging, own your curves, be your brand, monetize your uniqueness. She wasn't just modeling, she was mentoring, without saying it outright. Her fans weren't just followers. They were clients, admirers, investors in her image economy. She turned her home into a content studio, built a team of photographers and stylists. And when Instagram's algorithm shifted, she pivoted seamlessly, posting more reels, leaning into lifestyle formats, and keeping her engagement sharp. Today, Abigail Ratchford's estimated net worth is over $2 million, and growing. And unlike so many Instagram models who burned bright and faded fast, she's still here. Still trending. Still profiting. Because for Abigail, beauty was never the end goal. It was just the bait. Abigail Ratchford didn't follow the blueprint. She shattered it. From small-town beginnings to social media superstardom, she crafted a career on her own terms. She endured rejection, defied industry standards, and transformed scandal into strategy. But beyond the sensual photos and viral fame lies a woman who understood the game and played it brilliantly. She turned judgment into fuel, attention into income, and criticism into currency. She proved that in the age of digital dominance, control over your own image is the most powerful asset of all. But here's the question we're left with. Is Abigail Ratchford the icon of our times? Or just a mirror reflecting the culture we created? If this story made you see her in a new light, let us know in the comments. And if you want more untold stories of digital queens redefining fame, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. This is VibechicTV, where beauty meets business, and the truth is always more seductive than the headline. Thank you for watching.